Okay, a very good evening to all of you. So, today we are going to cover importance of geopolitics for defense aspirants. Before I go further in this evening, I would like to say that what geopolitics is and how this geopolitics is important for defense aspirant. First of all, before we understand geopolitics, we need to understand what politics is. Politics is a way in which politics is a way to acquire a position. It may be the political position as our political governments in government system also they acquire the position to look after or for the development of the person under you and the citizen of particular region. So that is the politics. What is now geopolitics? Geopolitics is the when we want to maintain or any country want to maintain supremacy in the world on water region, mountain region, or dominance over any country, a smaller country. You might have heard in news that there are so many countries which are being dominated by some developed countries. So in this scene, what happens, the developed countries would like to maintain supremacy in the world. Here in what we need to understand in geopolitics, being a responsible citizen of India of age group, when you are going for the SSB, what are the things is expected out of you? Say from the age group of 18 to 25 or 22, being the responsible citizen of India, you should know where India stands and what is the India's state in the world, and what are the happenings is going on in the world in current scenario. So how it helps to the defense aspirants, because in SSB you participate in lecturate, GD, and even in interview also interviewing officer asked some questions regarding the current happenings and what is the stand of India in that, right? So that is why the candidate who is appearing for SSB should understand what geopolitics is. Okay? So let us move ahead now. Okay, yeah. So gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, here I'd like to take you back years back to the 1945. You might be seeing on display that I'm welcoming you to 6th August 1945, and particularly the time is mentioned over there, that is 8:45 p.m. Why it is so? Can anybody tell me in comment down that what is the significance of this date? See, this date has a historical event related with this. On this date, 6th August 1945 at 8:45 p.m., an element named Little Boy was dropped in the boundary of in the region of Hiroshima in Japan. Because on this historic date, it led to the human-made a big massacre in which lakhs of people were killed, were destroyed within a fraction of a minute. And just after this, 3 days after the 6th August, on 9th August 1945, what happened? One more element, fat man, was dropped in Nagasaki. And both the bomb, this was the atom bomb, which was dropped by USA in Japan, just after World War II. This event is a very, very historic event because it brought a revolution in the humankind. How it taught us that not only India, the whole world is moving towards the nuclear weapon, a nuclear energy which has a tremendous efficiency to destroy, at the same time has a tremendous efficiency to help if it is used wisely in a civil purpose like to generate electricity. So now we will understand this is the birth of nuclear weapon in world, this date. So there must be some policy made by some big organizations in the world like UNO and all, that how it should be controlled. If it is not controlled within the time limit, or it is not controlled properly, then if it will go to the wrong hands means the terrorist existing in the world, then what will happen? The humankind will be at risk. Human being will be at risk. Humanity will be at risk in the world. So there were some policies. We are going to discuss what were these policies after this date and what was India's stand in that. So mainly our topic today is the India's nuclear policy. Okay, and that we will discuss. So before we go further to see the policies, I would like to show you a small video because through video it will create a good impact on you, that how much destruction can be created by the nuclear weapon.
I saw an aircraft, like a tiny silver drop, entering the sky above Hiroshima. I instantly recognized it as an American plane, as no Japanese aircraft could fly at that altitude at the time. It was just one plane, so I assumed that it was passing by as usual.
And I was counting. Ichi-ni-san.
I was wiping the desktop. That was when the bomb was dropped.
It took about 45 seconds from the time the bomb left the airplane until it exploded. And I think there wasn't a man in the airplane that wasn't either timing it with his watch or counting or doing something. I was sure the bomb was a dud. I was sure it wasn't going to work.
After falling for 43 seconds, the time and barometric triggers started the firing mechanism. A uranium bullet fired down a barrel into a uranium target. Together, they started a nuclear chain reaction. Solid matter began to come apart, releasing untold quantities of energy.
So ladies and gentlemen, you saw in the video now that how this nuclear weapon destroyed a region within a fraction of a minute and took so many lives. So once it was discovered the nuclear weapon came into the world, then there must be some policies for that. So now we will discuss what were the policies made by the different organizations in the world and what is India's nuclear policy in that and how India dealt with these situations. Even though the 5 permanent members of the UNO wanted to maintain their supremacy by making so many policies in their own favor, India came up with a unique way and India maintained its supremacy in the world. Let's see now. See, before we move further, we need to understand these topics: NPT, NSG, CTBT, CCS 123 agreement. What are these? Non-Proliferation Treaty, Nuclear Suppliers Group, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, Cabinet Committee of Security, and 123 agreement. So in this one lecture, you will be able to cover these all topics, which will help you out in lecturate in SSB. For SSB, our SSB Short Academy provides so many courses. Let us understand how it can benefit you all. See, at first I can say you, the first is the General Bhakuni's signature course, which includes 6-day personality development course, which is online, and 6-day SSB course, which is online. So this is the signature course. What General Bhakuni himself says, if any candidate take these 2 courses, will be helpful and will be aware regarding the whole procedure of SSB, and will come to know their shortcomings to handle and how to handle, and they will get chance to develop upon that. Next courses which SSB Social provides, like 12-day online offline SSB courses, various 1-day sessions for those candidates who cannot afford these many the long day courses which amounts a bit more. So for them there is a various 1-day sessions which we run. Then 15-day English speaking course. As General Bhakuni himself says, if you don't know English, even God is not going to help you out. So English is must, what we understand in SSB. There is no such law that English is must in SSB, but what we can understand that if we know English better, then there is more chances of selection in SSB. Next is, we have so many online written classes like for CDS, NDA, AFCAT and other rank also. And apart from these all things, we have a very fantastic initiative which SSB Social Academy has taken, that is Mentorship Club, in which you get 4 things free, in one package only. That is 6-day personality development course, 6-day SSB crash course, 1 personal interview by General Bhakuni himself, and your psych will be checked by him. Next, now let us come back to the topic, that is the NPT is the first topic which we need to understand the world's nuclear policies. That is Non-Proliferation Treaty, which came in the year 1967. What was its objective? See, and the objective of NPT was to prevent the spread of nuclear weapon and weapons technology. This NPT came, and there was objective that there should not be a spread of nuclear weapon. As I already have told you, that what would be the repercussion if it is spreaded and it goes into the bad hands, and those people who are not thinking or working towards the development of the world, they will destroy and easily bring the destruction in the world. So the objective was to stop the prevention, because it requires lots of measurements, lots of things need to be taken care of to handle this nuclear energy. Next, the objective was to promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy and to further the goal of achieving nuclear disarmament. When we say nuclear disarmament, it means there should not be existence of nuclear disarmament for the military use. And the nuclear energy can be used for the civilian purpose to generate electricity, so that the electricity will be easily available in the world. Next, in the basic statement and the very simple way we can conclude this topic is that say no to nuclear weapon. It means nuclear weapons should not be used for the military purpose, and no construction of nuclear weapon at the same time. Now, what was in this treaty, there was one important point in which India's concern and India's attention is needed. That is, only those countries can have which already own it. So those 5 permanent members till 1964, starting from the 1945 till 1964, 5 permanent members countries of UNA already own this nuclear weapon. So what this treaty was saying, that only this country can have nuclear weapon. Now the question is, why only this country can have nuclear weapon? If they have nuclear weapon, they will mislead the world. They will lead the world in whichever way they want, right? So India must come up saying that no, this is wrong. Now question to you is, so by understanding this NPT, can you please tell me that whether India should sign the NPT? No. What I said, no, India should not sign the NPT, because once you become the member of NPT, you will no more be eligible to work on the nuclear weapon. Okay? You will not be eligible to work under the nuclear weapon, and your all nuclear energy will be nuclear weapon will be stopped to work on that. So why I should give pistol in the other country's hand and I should not have? No. As India maintains its sovereignty, so the other countries is not at all have any way to interfere in its internal business, right? And India is free to take decision in that. So now India is not the member of NPT. Earlier North Korea was the member in the NPT, but in 2003 North Korea also withdrew its membership from the NPT. Okay. Next, so when this nuclear policy was signed, then India in the 1967 it was told that none of the country in the world will have nuclear weapon except those 5 countries which already owned it till 1964. India very hidingly on 18th May 1974, Pokhran-I. It is known to everyone, right? So this is a historic date, and you can say a historic victory of India. On this day, India tested nuclear weapon in Pokhran. Pokhran is located in Rajasthan, right? So on 18th May 1974, India completed its first testing on nuclear test, and the code name was given Smiling Buddha was the code name of this mission. Okay. So this static GK will help you out in the examination like AFCAT. So the Smiling Buddha was the code test, and India successfully done this. India became the only nation after 5 UN nations to do so. In India became only nation only after the 5 nations who are the member of UNA to do this, to get nuclear weapon in the world. So now let us understand what are these 5 members, the permanent members, first 5 nuclear countries, what we say. And these 5 members, USA, USSR, now Russia, United Kingdom, France and China, these 5 members are the permanent members of UNO. That you understand. United Nations Organization, you know that these are the 5 members countries. So first of all, USA got its nuclear weapon in 1945, Little Boy and Fat Man, which already we discussed. It was the code name given by USA. Then USSR got in the year 1949, nuclear weapon I am talking about, the code name was First Lightning of the USSR, that is Russia. And United Kingdom got it in Operation Hurricane. This was the code name. In the 1952, Operation Hurricane was carried out. That was a nuclear test. It was the code name given by Britain. Understood? Next, France. In the year 1960, France became the 4th member to get nuclear weapon and to nuclear country in the world in the year 1960. And the code name was given Jervois Blue. This was the code name given by the France. Then China at last in the year 1964 got the nuclear weapon and the code name was given 596. So this code name was given, and in the year 1964 all the permanent member countries of UNA, that is USA, Russia, France and China, got their nuclear weapon. Ultimately on 18th May 1974, India also done its first nuclear test. The code name was Smiling Buddha. So India became the first country in the world after the 5 permanent countries to have nuclear test. That is understood. So this is what geopolitics is. If something is happening very hidingly or very secrecy is maintained in that. See what here you can see how smartly the UN is playing. That in the year 1964 all 5 permanent members got the nuclear weapon, and then in the year 1967 they brought the NPT, that you cannot test nuclear weapon. You cannot have testing of that. So what India should do? India did, despite having the law coming for NPT, India did that in the year 1974. Now let us watch one more video to understand this in a very precise way. So here in this video, what we saw that the code name which was given Smiling Buddha, that was because there was the Gautam Buddha Jayanti on that day, so the Smiling Buddha name was given. Next, after completion of this, let us understand what is NSG. It was the second subtopic to us. The NSG is Nuclear Suppliers Group. Now, it came in the year 1974 after the India had done its first testing in the 1974. Immediately after that, NSG came. What is the concept of this? The NSG was founded in response to the Indian nuclear test in May 1974. It was a response. It means, again, you know, once that India, as India has done this testing, other countries may also do that in future. So for to control this, again, one more group comes, one more you can say the decision came out from there. That is the NSG, which is Nuclear Suppliers Group. So, and first met in November 1974, the meeting of this was done in the November 1974. Countries, what is this objective now? Let us understand NSG. Countries which have signed NPT can only be the members of NSG. Again, the countries which have signed NPT can only be the members of NSG. It means those countries who have already signed NPT, it means they will not do any kind of nuclear testing in future, and they will not have nuclear elements which help to generate nuclear energy. So those countries will be the member of NPT, and those countries who becomes the member of NSG will be benefited. How they will be benefited? Because only these countries can have the elements to work on nuclear energy for civilian purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, here we need to understand this thing, that those members who all are the member of NSG will be benefited by getting the elements, nuclear energy, for the civilian purpose use. Every country in the world wants to be the member of NSG. Why? Because they will be supplied nuclear elements, and because as it is a nuclear suppliers group, so they will be getting nuclear elements from those countries which already own this. Okay. So now here is a question: should India be the member of NSG or not? Write down in the comment. Should India be the member of NSG or not? Yes, obviously India should be the member of NSG, because India should get the elements to work upon the nuclear weapon and to use for the civilian purpose, to generate electricity and all. It was formed to stop the nuclear power in the world. Again, there should not be any more nuclear power apart from those 5 countries which already own it. So to stop these things, stop the nuclear power in the world, this was formed. Only NSG members countries can have access of nuclear energy. Already I have told you, those countries which all are the member of NSG can only have the the access of nuclear energy for the civil purpose use. Okay. Next comes in the year 1996, one more proposal came, one more treaty came. That was CTBT, the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. What is this treaty? It is a multilateral treaty that bans all nuclear tests for both civilian and military purpose in air, water and land. Need not to worry now, because this treaty didn't come in effect. It was not implemented. It was just discussed. That CTBT, which was saying that there should not be any kind of testing either in air, water or land. On 10th September 1996, but has not entered into force as 8 specific nations have not ratified the treaty. The policy was to stop the nuclear proliferation. Yes, policy was very clear, objective was very positive. But behind that objective and policy, India should understand that those 5 members was wanting, or it was their desire, or it was their step to maintain supremacy in the world. Actually, they were jealous of those countries which was coming out with the nuclear testing done or becoming the nuclear country. That was rather there were so many treaties were coming to stop these things in the world. Right. So CTBT was again Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. This is understood to you, under which none of the countries can have testing in air, water or land, and cannot be done any of the nuclear test. Okay. So this policy was to stop nuclear proliferation. The policy is understood. There should not be a spread of nuclear proliferation, and there should not be spreading of nuclear energy in the world. But behind that policy, we should understand what exactly the geopolitics is being played. Actually, they wanted to maintain supremacy in the world. So now India must take some step. Yes, India should, and India did. India took this step. Ultimately, in the year 1998, it is a very proud moment, proud day for India. India declared herself that yes, India is also a nuclear country in the world. India declared or India proclaimed on the public forum that yes, India is the nuclear country on 11 May 1998. Before we proceed further, we must salute those persons who were behind these two faces. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man whom we know, and then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. What happened on 11th May 1998? Pokhran-II. Again, there was we are answering very badly to the treaties which are coming out from the world organizations. 3 detonations happened on May 11 and 2 on May 13. What happened on that on these days? There were operations, testings were done. Shakti operation, which was known. Shakti 1, Shakti 2, Shakti 3, Shakti 4, Shakti 5. Total of 5 nuclear tests were done continuously from 11th of May to the 13th of May. India created history by conducting the set of 5 nuclear tests, not 1 or 2, 5 nuclear tests. It is this process, these dates and incident is also known as the Shakti operation, and very commonly we know it as a Pokhran-II, 11th May 1998. On 13th May, then PM Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee declared India a full-fledged nuclear state. So let us watch a small video again and then we will continue this. So ladies and gentlemen, here we saw that a small video of Pokhran-II. Now India has stepped to form own policy. So once India declares that India is a full-fledged nuclear country in the world, India must follow its own policy so that there should not be some more objections in the world. Let's see. Then Cabinet Committee of Security was set up in the year 2003, and they come up with the final policies, final steps, what India should present in front of the world, that yes, we are having nuclear weapon, but why we are having and what will be our policy for that, that was decided in that. What was that? Cabinet Committee of Security, which came in the year 2003. Then a credible minimum deterrent was the first policy, the first point of that policy, that credible minimum deterrent. What does it mean? It means that India wants to create fear among those nations who thinks that they can destroy India. Right. So before attacking India with nuclear weapon, any country must think that India has its own nuclear weapon. India is a nuclear country in the world. So to create a minimum fear, that is the first thing. So India should have nuclear weapon. Next, posture of no first use. This is a very, very good posture, a positive posture from the India side of no first use. What does it mean? That India will never use nuclear weapon for the first time. It means if any country uses nuclear weapon on India, then only India will think, or India will use that without thinking. India will use on that for as a form of retaliation to that particular country. Now we need to understand this posture in a very clear mode. See, no first use, it means it doesn't mean that India will wait for the other country to attack India. No. The moment India comes to know by any other means that any country in the world is planning to attack India with nuclear weapon, without taking any hesitation, India will use first. One more thing is that if there is any kind of disturbance to the soldiers, for example, if India is in a war and Indian soldiers are in the region of other country, then if any country uses nuclear weapon on that troop or on that particular soldiers who all are there outside India, then also it will be considered that the nuclear weapon is used on India and India will use again for the retaliation. So that is we need to understand what is the no first use. No first use, it doesn't mean only that India will use only after some other country uses on India. There is no use of using them. Okay. Next is due to this posture. So what kind of impression was shown by India when India proclaimed that India accept and India will maintain the policy of no first use? A very positive vibes spread it in the world. Due to this posture, India would waver to access of nuclear energy. See, as we know, India is not the member of NSG because India doesn't want to sign NPT. So India is not the member of NSG. But yet India wants to take nuclear elements to work for the civilian purpose, to utilize nuclear energy for the civilian purpose, right? So for that, what India did, nuclear energy for civilian purpose, so India needed to play a geopolitics in that. India showed the no first use. India declared herself in the various world platform that India will not use the nuclear weapon in the first time. So this, as I told you, this gave a positive vibes to the world. So what happens? They got a waiver to access of nuclear energy for civilian purpose without being the member of NSG or NPT under the 123 agreement with USA in 2008. Ultimately in 2008, USA come forward and told that yes, we can provide India some nuclear elements to use it for the civilian purpose. So now that is the role of geopolitics in the world. Without being the member of NSG, we are getting nuclear supply to work for the civilian purpose. Okay. Next, let us understand what is this 123 agreement is. 123 agreement, which is signed with USA in the year 2008. Already we are saying. So that 123 agreement between India and USA refers to section 123 of US Atomic Energy Act. This is a section of US Atomic Energy Act which says that there is a ban on transfer of nuclear technology to other countries according to this 123 section of Atomic Energy Act of USA. But as USA is impressed by looking at the no first use of India, USA came up and took a step ahead to help India, and the act was passed by USA to make an exception for India, that yes, India can avail the nuclear elements to generate nuclear energy for the civil purpose, to enable transfer of technology for civil nuclear energy. So this was the 123 agreement. So I think till now everything is clear to all of you. With this we came to an end of today's session of India's nuclear policy, and if you want to ask anything regarding this, You can ask. So before we end our session, once again I would like to tell you that we have a multiple courses already, which I have told you. General Bhakuni's signature course. You must take at least the signature course of General Bhakuni, so that you will be confident enough before you proceed for the SSB. Apart from that, if you want to prepare for written classes, then we have NDS, CDS, AFCAT and other ranks entries written classes which we run every month. And this month the course will start from 15th of December for NDA, and for CDS from 21st of December. See, if somebody, Shubham is asking that, sir, a single bomb can destroy whole country. See, if we are not talking about the efficiency of the country and efficiency of that particular bomb, but these can destroy. And it is not for a short period of time; it lasts long. The nuclear weapons destructions. Okay, if you can even suggest some topics which you want me to come the next time when I come live, and which are the topics you want me to cover, you can suggest me. I will frequently keep on coming on live on the SSB Short Academy channel. And if you want me to prepare, if you want me to speak on a particular topic, you can say. You can suggest me in the comment section. I will go through that and I will definitely come.